personalities. Well, today we have amongst ourselves two authors of best-selling novels. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our first guest, Miss Stephenie Meyer. Welcome to our show, ma'am. It's great to have you here. Well, Stephenie Meyer was born on December 24, 1973. She is an American young adult author, famous for her fantasy series, Twilight. Well, let me invite our second guest to the show now. She is the author of famous Harry Potter series. Please welcome with a huge round of applause, Ms. J.K.Rowling. Welcome to our show, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Well, our audience is very much excited to know about their favorite authors. So, we'll start away with a questions round from the audience. Who would like to ask the first question? Yes, you please.
Mrs. Meyer, we have heard that your very fans are there. So, even I'm a very big fan of yours. So, can you tell us that what are your inspiring factors?
Thank you for being such a big fan of my book. Since my childhood, I'm a very avid reader. I have read many books like Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte and Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. You will be amazed to know that each Twilight series is inspired specifically by a literary classics like Twilight series by Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, New Moon by Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, Eclipse by Emily Brant's Wuthering Heights, and Breaking Dawn theme by Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream and A Merchant of Venice. If you go through these books carefully, you will find many similarities between them.
It's really great to know about your inspirations, ma'am. Moving towards the next question, will be asked by... Yes, you please.
Hello Miss Rowling, I want to ask you a question that from where did you get the idea of Harry Potter?
Actually, in 1990, I was in Manchester looking for a flat. But then I decided to take my train back to London. And that idea of Harry Potter fell into my head that very evening. I am writing since I was 6, but I had never been as excited for an idea as I was for this book. I began to write The Philosopher's Stone that very evening.
It's really strange, but very nice too.
I want to ask her one question, please.
Yes, please.
Miss Rowling, how long did it take you to find the publisher?
Actually, it took my agent Christopher an year to find a publisher. One day in August of 1996, Christopher called up to let me know that he had an officer from Bloomsbury. I couldn't simply believe my ears, and as I hung up, I screamed and jumped into the air.
Oh, well, that was amazing. The next question from... Yes, you please.
Miss May, I seriously love your book Twilight and I've read it many a times. But I always had the doubt in my mind that how did you get the idea of writing a romantic thriller?
Thank you for the question. It's quite weird to know that the idea of Twilight came to my dream on June 2, 2003. It was a dream about a human girl and a vampire who was in love with her but thirsted for her blood. The chapter which I wrote became the chapter 13 of the draft. Then my sister's response to the book was enthusiastic and she asked me to send the manuscript to the literary agencies.
It's really weird, but quite interesting. Now, even I have a question for both of you. People often compare you both on your style of writing. But what are your point of views on people comparing both of you? Miss May, what will you say?
According to my opinion, every author has got different opinions and issues to write. I think one must not compare two authors like this.
I agree with you. What would you say, Miss Rowling, about this?
In my opinion, two authors must not be compared, and the media hides small things, and whereas the people are just simply exaggerating.
I hope nobody compares two authors again. Well, let's go back to the audience questions. Who would like to ask the next question? Yes, you please.
No.
Oh, Miss May, can you tell us something about your educational life?
Yes, of course. I attended Chaparral High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. Then I attended Brigham Young University in Obo, Utah. where I received my BA in 1997.
Okay, ma'am. The next question will be coming from... Yes, you please.
Hello, Miss Rowling. In your opinion, which is the best place to write?
Thank you for the question. It's no secret that in my opinion the best place to write is the cafe. You need not make your own coffee. You need not think that you're in a solitary confinement. And if you're in a writer's block, you can just simply get up and move to the next cafe, giving your batteries time to recharge and your brain time to think.
That's true. The next question from... Yes, you please.
Hello, Ms. Rowling. I have a question for you. Wasn't it hard for you to finish a book with a small child in your life?
Yes, good question. Actually, it was quite hard, but I made it work. Every time Jessica fell asleep in her pushchair, I'd rush to the nearest cafe and wrote as much as I could. I wrote almost every evening, and the worst part was I had to write everything out myself. Sometimes I just hated this book, but all the while I loved it.
You're a very hardworking man, I must say. Well, we'll give a break to the audience questions because I have a very interesting activity for both of you. I have a rapid fire round for you. Well, I will start with Miss Meyer. If you wouldn't have been an author, what would you have been?
I would have been a receptionist because before writing, I was a receptionist in a property company.
And which is your most treasured possession?
My kids are my treasured possession.
Which is your favorite book?
Jane Eyre by Caleb Tront is my favorite book.
And who is the one who inspires you?
My father inspires me a lot.
Oh, that's nice one. Now, I'd like to ask you, Miss Rowling, who is the person who inspires you?
There was a professor I still remember. He inspires me a lot.
And which is your favorite book?
Actually, my favorite book is Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare.
And which is your most treasured possession?
My parents.
Oh. And if you wouldn't have been an author, what would you have been?
I couldn't imagine my life with not being an author.
That was a nice one too. Well, I'm still confused who wins it, so I'll give it both of you. Thank you so much. Let's have a huge round of applause. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming to our show. But in the end, I would also like to ask one more question from you. We all are a great fan of your books. But which book do you like the most from your series? Miss Meyer, from your Twilight series, which is your personal favorite?
My personal favorite is Breaking Dawn.
That's my favorite too. Miss Rowling, which is your favorite from the Harry Potter series?
My favorite is The Philosopher's Stone.
It's really a great book. Well, thank you so much for coming to our show. It was great to talk to you and know more about you. Thank you for taking out your precious time, coming to our show, sharing your viewpoints with us. It's really great to have you on our show. Well, our audience is really excited to take the autographs. You may go and take the autographs. But that was all for today. I hope you all must have liked this show. So, we'll be back again with another episode at the same show, at the same time, The Reflections. Thank you so much. Till then, take care and goodbye.